Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing?
Is this the Ratchet and Clank soundtrack? Like it literally did say.
It did say on the screen, didn't it? Anyway, how are we doing,
Oh,
everybody?
I'm in a porthole.
Hello, Jim. Hello, Mash.
I'm
Look at this!
alright.
Look at this fresh morning hair. I should have probably done my hair first.
Got my evening hair on, the hat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jim. Where are you joining us from this morning?
That's better. Oh yeah, there we go.
I'm apparently in a Imperial Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Can't really tell.
You can't quite tell in the porthole.
It's just behind the
it's
bar.
there,
I'm just behind the
Might just
bar,
see some
so
random
any
stormtrooper.
requests, feel free to state them, and I'm sure we can conjure them up. We had a few last week, so and it led to us trying to find out what a Milo was. Mash, do you know what a Milo is?
Yeah, it's a tiny fish.
Is it?
I'm,
Is it?
I'm trying to think. Is it like a reference to a fish, or are you saying it's an actual fish? 'Cause I don't know if I've ever heard of a Milo fish.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a minnow.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what a Milo is.
Apparently, Milo is a fish from fish hooks.
So yeah,
Whatever fish hooks is.
that's it.
Yeah.
Looks like some kind of animated show.
Fish hooks. You don't know what fish hooks is? Come on.
No.
Man.
I've never had a fish hook.
Yeah. No one has. Sorry to developers of that, whatever it is.
The only thing I know of fish the animated thing was Sharky and George, the crime busters of the sea.
There was a really cool cartoon back in the 90s called Street Sharks. And
Yeah,
on
and
bike
Street
just-
Sharks, yeah.
That was the same time Gargoyles was out.
No, not heard of that. But I could Spies from Mars. Like,
Gargoyles was a
Mars.
Disney one, I think. And I think they had Keith Davies as like the lead gargoyle. So
Don't know
that's
who that is.
he was Arbiter in Halo, and he was the guy in Saints Row. I forget his name. Julius. If you've played those games.
I played Halo. I can't remember playing Saints Row.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Julius
how is
Spacek at some point.
how has everybody's week gone? Jim, let's start again with you on the left.
Mate, I am running laps, and I'm still running laps. Agility all week for me, man. Just full on grind. And you know what? I'm not even hating it. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but yeah, not even hating.
I haven't really played much this week. I did the new quest. Did 2 hours of it on day of release. The dinosaur bit pissed me off.
Yeah, that
So-
seems a common thing.
So I came back a day later, well, 2 days later, finished the dinosaur bit off, did the stupid puzzle, spacebarred the text, finished the quest, and then,
Did the boss fight?
yeah, if you can call it that,
Mm.
and then just now I did some ED2, so I went to Vindicta. I went to Vindicta.
Yep.
Apparently, raw sharks are 2k each now.
Yep. It's not very fun.
So, like,
Yeah.
obviously,
It's.
I don't know what's happened to them. They've literally, like, they've been like
XP, cool.
1,000 GP each since I started playing. So, funk knows why they've doubled in price, but I'll take it because it made Vindicta even more profitable than normal.
Same with the uncut diamond drops. Like they're really good right now.
What happened with the diamonds? Why are they 7k rather than like 800 GP? Like, obviously it was after,
Getting ready for DXP.
but it was after archaeology release, wasn't it? I noticed it go, boom,
I'm guessing
straight up.
because people need them to make diamond necklaces to make porters.
Yeah,
So
that would be it. That
I'm
would be it.
guessing that
That
a
would.
lot of
yeah.
people's
have a look.
supplies. Obviously, if people had loads stacked, then they might have just dumped them in the GE. So that because I know I bought a load of diamonds. And did I buy a load of diamonds or a gold? I might have bought one or the other. I think I had one and not the other to make a load of diamond necklaces to make them into porters. So obviously that would have taken, I don't know how much, like obviously a percentage out of the market.
Yeah.
So then supply and demand in it.
and people aren't
Yeah.
really mining diamonds.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not really a meta method of training mining it either. So
No.
plus,
And
there's
then-
no dedicated diamond gem rock. It's a it's a chance to get it.
And then sharks have just been on a slow, kind of gradual rise since
I think that's
Wow.
because of,
March, really.
I think that might be a little bit because of like deep sea fishing and people not really doing sharks as much.
You
anymore.
say that, but sailfish have like got up as well. They're at least 7k or 6.5k. So
I keep tabs on obviously the new players coming in and out because that's sort of my niche. But I feel that's why shark prices are going up is because we've got a lot of new players coming back and they don't know about the new types of food. Because when they obviously left, sharks were obviously best in slot for them. So that's why there's high demand for it right now.
Man,
from
I'm just
what
gonna
I've seen.
sit. I'm just gonna do hours and hours of temple trekking and get them raw sharks in.
I mean, hours and hours of Vindictor's probably easier.
Yeah, true. And more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, chance of DRL.
That's a what?
Chance of what? Yeah.
The Dragon Riderlands.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I swear you said The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock, Dwayne. You're gonna get Dwayne. Oi, Dwayne, can you stop filming movies? I gotta catch you for a second.
I thought you were like, and the chance of the Rock, and the chance of the Rock, and I was like, wait, there's like a new twist. After a certain amount of kills have been dictated, the Rock just racks up with his axe and he's like, hey bitches.
Oh yeah, Daryl. Yeah.
Just knocks Vindictor off and gets on top of Gorvek instead. Just
Imagine just swinging his axe off.
You get Vindictor down to like 10 HP and you just get one hit.
yeah.
New weapon, the Rock axe with the range of a lance.
Just a tap, and it's literally the two stuck together with some tape.
Yeah. bit of zip ties. Jobs are good in. Imagine. Oh. Man, halberds, man. I remember when halberds came out and everyone was gassed. They were like, I can do melee at range distance. I can stand behind a rock and hit people.
Yeah, Blue Dragons got instantly abused by that.
Oh, man.
The
That
ones
was
in
funny.
Grimhaven.
I remember that, and I was just like, that was my goal to get a dragon bloody halberd.
Yep. Yeah. Good old days.
Good old days. The good old days when you could wield a god book and a staff.
So
You were a made player with a whip and a defender.
I've had a fairly busy week. I didn't realise that was still this week. So I finished my Vindictor log. I know, Mash, you went very
Unbelievable.
dry.
I like the bit where you were like, finally.
Hey,
No.
right,
No.
right,
Can't be like,
right.
finally.
I can because I had one lance, which is a 1 in 250 drop in 1200 kills. So the pets are 1 in 2k. I just got very lucky with them. But the lance, that's a whole load of the profitability that I wasn't getting.
Yeah, I think Hellware took me like 1800 KC to get an orb.
I haven't touched Hellway really yet. I've done a few, but I know lots of people enjoy it because of obviously rezzing the big swipe attack and
Yeah, it gets
all that jazz.
Yeah, a lot of people bash on God. Sorry, I'm just jumping in, but a lot of people bash on God Wars Dungeon 2, but it teaches you so many good
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
teaches you the mechanics of doing the res, counting
Devotion.
abilities, devotion in all of that stuff. And the drops aren't trash. Like, it's just a good intro to bossing, proper boss. I remember when I first came back, we used to 4-man it because none of us were maxed. You know what I mean? We weren't all. And that was our intro, and then we started cutting it down to duos, and one would tank, and then we'd take it in turns, learning to tank it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just they're just good bosses. So yeah, so you got your log completed. So what one's next?
So I got my log completed. Well, I'll probably go for Twin Furies. I'll do next, I think, because I like twins.
I was about to
do
mention
you?
Twin Furies there as well, because everyone likes to hack on Twin Furies as like the worst of the God Wars Dungeon 2. But then I was like, they do teach you really good mechanics, because obviously they've got that ability where they blast out, you've got to dodge the fire. It's like you're always moving. So there is mechanics there. You've got to learn to dodge, you've got to learn to stand in the right spot, even though it's like not obviously the best money, but like it still teaches you some really good fundamentals, Twin Furies.
It's good positioning
need-
as well, because obviously if you're using something like a lance there, being able to hit both
Yeah.
of them at once.
I need Crest and Pet for both of those, for twins to get title.
See, I learnt to res on twins by that ability when they're both charging each other. I used to res off that big hit that came out when you meant to stand in the fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, there's a mechanic that obviously, I didn't know before, but now I do.
Can we all just agree that Greg is trash though?
I haven't done enough to even comment. To be honest, I've got like 5 great kills and 3 of them were in a giant mass. So
I've got 301 KC at Greg, and I'm the pet off title. I've got 2 crests, 2 offhands, and a main hand. So that's not bad.
no, not at all.
And I've got 301 kills, but it's just so bad. He's just so annoying. I think he is the hardest. Is it he?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But I would agree that
He is
Greg
called
is
Greg.
the hardest of God
Greg
Wars
is
2.
definitely the hardest of the God Wars minions. Obviously,
You have to
he's
know the most going
yeah.
in, I think. You have to know what you're...
you can't stand in melee.
There's a lot of multi stuff going on.
Yeah, you've got to stand and you've got to watch the little thing that bounce.
The clone
I
thing.
reckon if you could, I reckon the order that if you were new into it, you'd do twins.
Yeah, twins first. Yeah.
Then
Then then Vindictor, then Hellweir, then... So you literally go around.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I really enjoy Hellweir.
But no, Greg's the only one I haven't got max rep on yet, I think. So he'll be
A
the
really
last,
good
I think.
implementation, though, was the ability to get kill count and tally out. Like, that's what God Wars 1, I guess, needed. Because it was so annoying to go there and you're like, oh, crap, I'm lost all my food on the minions. I can't even go do the boss.
Yeah.
At least now with the like Anachronia Totem, the intimidation one, you can kind of skip all that.
Again, but look at the level that God Wars 1 is scaled to. Like, you're only talking level 70s in combat, and Anachronia Totem, I think, would take a little bit to get that if you're not those levels.
Yeah, Level Lock's going to have fun doing that. They just have to do it the OG method.
Mm.
But then I also... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I feel rewarded by God Wars 1 just because of the sheer amount of drops that you get, though. Like, you can go to a session, and every time I do Kree or something like that, I get usually 2 or 3, like, rare drop table hits. So it's pretty rewarding like that.
And they're still worth money because they're still decent, like, early game.
You have Invention to thank for that. If it wasn't for Invention, there's a lot of things in RS3 that would be broken, economic-wise.
Yeah. Everyone loves the Bandos Tassets.
Okay, so
what else have you been doing? So we literally got really sidetracked there from what else.
It's all good. So I did that. Then I tried to solo all the elite dungeons. I thought I'd work through them. ED1 took about 3 hours.
Oof.
I didn't have as much trouble at Mastuta as I thought I would. Once you get past like the first phase, and then it's the water spouts, and then you know that you need to pray flick in the last bit, it was quite simple. It's just avoiding the giant spins that I had trouble with.
Safely say I've never soloed ED1.
Should do it. Here we go.
I've tried. There is my community can tell you. I think I died on. Is it the first boss, the one that spins?
Oh, I died on him like 3 or 4 times as well. Yeah.
I just consistently get killed to him. But the closest I ever got, he was on like 15 HP, and then he killed me.
That is the time of rage quit, though. If it's that close.
And I think that was literally the last time I went back, and that was probably over a year ago. So, how did you go on ED2? I love ED2.
ED2 is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so I got 112 group, 116 solo.
It's really not bad, is it? They're decent bosses in that they can't really. one-shot you apart from, I suppose, Blackstone Dragon's like special spiky thing, whatever you'd call it.
There you go. I've got 4 Saru kills total.
That might be exactly the same as me. Hang on, let me check. But yeah, no, ED2 was fun. Astalan is obviously really nice, having the like double damage mechanic, and very simple. Again, a little bit of positioning stuff. I have free say. My solo kill time was 11:46. My fastest trio is 3 minutes 15. Oh,
And then,
dear.
so then, how did you? And then ED2, ED3.
ED3, I still haven't done Ambassador. I just kept dying and dying and dying. But the first 2 were fairly alright. Taraket was not as bad as I was expecting. The first time I did die, but that's because I didn't kill the minions quick enough. So you have hundreds of little skeleton guys swarm you, hitting you with ranged hits while you're being hit by mage hits by Taraket, and it's like, oh, this is too much.
Taraket. I think I've managed to get all the way to Ambassador, and then I couldn't kill Ambassador.
No, I got to the spinny phase twice. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And then I think 3 fragments were absorbed, and I didn't have max adrenaline, so I couldn't like immort or barricade or anything, and it was over.
Oof.
Just audio check. I turned it up a bit, so if they were asking. But with ED3, I don't have time to do any of this stuff because of my series. It's just if I distract myself from what I'm after, I'm not going to get there. But I have done ED3 once the whole way through. And when we got to the end, we were going to die at Ambassador. So the guy that I was with obviously touch of deathed it, and on that touch of death, he got the pet.
Wow. So you could
2 KC.
If I was going to say, if that was his like first kill, he could have technically had the pet with 0 KC.
Yeah, 2 KC.
Crazy.
So I'm yet to actually kill, but yeah, but it's fun to go the whole way through. I don't hate it. I just really don't have time to do PBM or anything like that. I wish I did. I really wish I did.
It's alright, that's what you'll have to get onto after you're maxed.
I've got something that I'm going to work on. I thought about it today for the after max series. It's definitely going to continue with some other stuff that I want to get done. I looked at the figures the other day. I've got 140 days, and I've got 150 million XP to go. So it's basically 1 million XP a day is the average to get there in time.
That's alright. And what skill do you think is going to be the worst that you've got left?
I've already got it done, the worst one, which was construction. I'm doing agility right now, as I said, and I'm loving it. I'm loving agility. And Acronia is awesome because the track is long enough that it doesn't feel tedious. It doesn't feel like it's taking forever to get around the track. And I'm actually really enjoying it. Whereas I think Hunter, out of everything that's left, I think Hunter will be the one that really just gives me the shits.
Why?
I've just never been a Hunter person.
But you've got Big Game Hunter now and that sort of thing as well. That's profitable and good.
Never
for
done it. I've got 61. I've got 61,
right.
And I did it through box traps. So
yeah. So you still
I've
got
never
a bit of a
actually
way
done
to
Hunter.
get there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to Big Game Hunter, you'll probably find that quite fun as well. All the Anachronia stuff they added is really nice skilling methods. I don't know what you think, Mash.
Anachronia, yeah, I haven't Big Game Hunter I've done, but like everything else, I haven't really touched the Slayer stuff because it came out after I was already 120 Slayer. I've done a lot of Big Game Hunter, obviously trying to get a matter, but apart from that, and doing like the agility course when it first came out because it was kind of fun. But just trying to get faster times and whatnot.
It's
I
nice
got
that
double
there's
surge yesterday. It's so nice.
Yeah, I was
like,
going to say there's rewards
yeah.
for it as well. It's not just the XP.
Yeah.
You actually get codex pieces and stuff.
I don't think I've even got any totems set up. Like it was just so. Like when it came out, it was just like, okay, yeah, I've done this now. I'm like, yeah,
Just sorted with it. So,
yeah. Obviously, because we actually got to test it, didn't we? When we went to the studios, me, Wazzy, Mike, Rav, and Cash, we tested Big Game Hunter before it was Big Game Hunter. Like the model was Solak. So the model was Solak. The crossbows were, the little tents that you put up in Dungeoneering. Those were the models. The frogs were the old school frogs. So like it was the same principle and everything like that, but obviously there was just no models or anything like that. But you can pretty much thank us lot for getting the triple spawns. So
Just like
because they were like, we tested it with one, and then I think Wazzy completed it first with one.
yeah.
And he's like, is there a way that we can have 3 or like 4? And they were like, yeah, but we were like, they were like, would you do it? We were like, yeah, like if the rewards are better for completing a 3, then
Of course
yeah,
you do it, yeah.
I'd do it. And then obviously eventually they were obviously thought, oh yeah, that makes sense, that would be good.
Add some extra difficulty into it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just had a look. Double Surge Codex, according to the wiki, is 50 mil. So, if you can make some profit while trading agility, it's
still. I don't know what the time input is. How long?
so that they reckon 9 hours.
So 6 mil an hour, like standard. You could do it if you're a pure. So I don't know if people still make pures. Do they still make skillers? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I've seen a fair few.
Like,
They're still around.
I suppose that's a good way to make easy skilling money, isn't it? I mean, skilling is just ridiculous money anyway. Especially
Now with archaeology.
Yeah, and archaeology. Look at the price of sharks.
Yeah, fishing,
Yeah.
exactly.
I remember that's how I bought my first. Well, I think the second party hat. I lost my first Santa hat, not party hat. I lost my first Santa hat to the random event troll on the fishing pier. Because you've gone AFK. Let's just send a random thing that's going to kill you and lose all your items. Lol.
You see, Stronghold
I'm enjoying
security.
the old school again. It's fun. All the random events that I get when I'm on the old school account.
Yeah, that's what I like about the old school. I like the random events, the evil Bob.
Military camp training.
Yeah. The mime.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yep. It's just so nostalgic to go back and relive all those moments.
That's a very nostalgic thing. So
Even walking from Lumbridge to Varrock in old school is nostalgic.
yeah.
If you haven't,
And then Dark Wizards.
yeah, just go around to the east instead.
Now the big
So
bear there.
The bear?
There's a
Oh,
bear.
on the
There
right
is a
side.
bear,
Yeah, the
yeah.
right side of Varrock. Yeah.
The path from Lumbridge to Varrock is a very treacherous one. You can either get done over by a bear or wizards.
Yep.
Choose
Or
your
a
foe.
unicorn if you're not careful.
Yeah, choose your foe.
So, have either of you seen the T% speedrun that Protox did the video of?
Nah.
No, I didn't have time. I wanted to, but like obviously with everything that's going on with me, it's just trying to find
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to even watch the video to then even try and attempt to. So give us a rundown. What is it?
Well, basically, it's
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I do. You carry on. I do know.
Okay.
I remember now.
for anyone that doesn't know, it's a speedrun competition run by Protox. It was initially for a couple of bonds, and then a few people were very generous, including Zilandra. And it's like over $500 million prize pot for people. It might be ending today at some point though, so it might be a little bit late if you see this. But the speedrun is from as soon as you spawn into Tutorial Island, running or getting to Varrock Tea Stall and sipping a cup of tea. Fastest time wins. As simple as that, or you'd think so. It's not, because of all the teleports and stuff in game that can be used.
I guess so. RuneScape 3 is like that, isn't it?
So lots of people initially were thinking, it's Wicked Hood free to play. No, it's not. But it turns out with the beach event at Lumbridge, you've got a few portals to D&Ds. And
Right.
yes, and this was a little bit of a controversial thing because there's a fallen star spot right next to the tea stall, but that's only active like for 2 hours or whatever.
So you have to time it for that 2 hours.
Yeah, so and because it wasn't available for everyone at the start of a run, I think they were disqualified in the end, that sort of thing, which seems
Right,
fair.
okay.
It's just a little bit annoying that it was introduced
Yeah, I feel like
after the...
I feel like any teleports should just be like complete circumstantial. Oh yeah, you got here at this, like you logged in, you completed it, and then you got to this portal that took you directly to the tea stall at this specific time. Like that, no one's going to be able to beat that because you've literally just got to run from the castle down to the teleport and through it. But
yeah, so
I
that's...
think RNG in any speedrun is the most important thing. So, like, if you had a speedrun, for example, in RuneScape 3, I would probably have it include kill X amount of something so that there is some just randomness to it.
Yeah.
That really spices it up.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, you do have to kill a rat on Tutorial Island. Like, you weren't allowed to actually skip the parts of Tutorial Island. You had to complete the section, so you had to mine the stuff. So, again, depending on which rock your... what's it called? Rockettunity spawns on. That could save you a couple of seconds, and lots of little bits like that.
Have you seen the Pokemon speedruns? They're pretty cool to watch. They're really relying on RNG.
Yeah, there's so many categories for
I've seen a few
stuff.
Mario ones where there's literally like, if you jump at this spot, you jump and you skip like 3/4 of the map, which is madness.
The N64 one on Rainbow Road, and you just jump off the map, and then it just lands you behind the start.
Yeah, ridiculous. There's so many.
It's just crazy how people find that sort of thing initially.
A lot of it's by accident.
Where's this secret place that you could go and you just end up at the end with a comp cape? You just go through this secret, you just click in a certain sequence, and then the portal opens up, you jump through, and then you come back out the other side of the portal fully comped, completed the game. You're free.
I watched I don't know if you guys seen like Awesome Games Done Quick and
Summer Games Done Quick and everything,
which are like week-long speedrun marathons raising money for... It's normally Doctors Without Borders, isn't it? I think, and a couple of other charities.
So, but there's some controversy around that group. Like, if you've talked to any of the speedrunners, there's some shady stuff with it. But it's for a good cause at the end of the day. But there is some not so good cause stuff that goes on with it. I wish the world would be a better place like that. But unfortunately, when there's money involved, there's always that sort of thing.
And there's the temptation, I guess, isn't it? Like, there was the whole thing about the charity marathons on Twitch a couple of months ago, where people were...
Speaking of Twitch, Spider, what made you get into that?
He is unmuted. He is gone. He has left. Amazing. What was the first thing you ever watched on Twitch, Jim? Or were you going to go into something else? What were you going to say?
No. That's a good one.
Okay.
What was the first thing I watched on Twitch? I think way back in the day, like way back in the day, would have been someone playing like Black Ops 2 or something like that. That's definitely what it would have been. I don't know who it would have been, but I think that's what it definitely would have been.
And do you remember how you like found it? Because obviously YouTube was like the place to go for gaming videos and stuff.
Yeah, I found it just because I wanted to interact with people live and see people live, so I sort of just looked for that sort of thing, and that's when Twitch sort of popped up. Like, this is before Amazon owned it, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And nowadays, it's flourished into this massive platform for people. You know, that's what I like about Twitch, is that it's not just gaming anymore. It's like, you got the big band like Matt Heafy from Trivium. You've got
Herman Lee as well.
Herman Lee. Yeah. You've got Danny from Ask Alexandra, Falling in Reverse, Rodney Radke. Like, all these band people are now streaming, and it's so cool because it's a different experience and a way that we can interact with those idols that we have that we've never had access to before. And you get to see, and it's like a peek into who they really are, because with an artist, you only get what's on the paper, what's on the recording. You don't really get to know them as a person. You can dive into their lyrics and stuff, but again, could have ghostwriters, all that sort of thing. But to find out who they really are, that's what the Twitch really offers them.
Sorry, it was the birthday girl.
That's okay. So
Can't really be like, yo, I'm doing a podcast.
So Mash,
What did I miss?
what's your first memory of Twitch? I'm just getting up the old Twitch logo. It's been
First,
so long since I've seen it.
my
Here it is.
personal first memory of Twitch, or just going.
Yeah,
on Twitch?
your personal first memory of it.
So, I think we discussed it, but yeah, my first memory was trying to do. Everyone in the clan that I joined wanted me to get another fire cape to prove that I could get a fire cape. So that's why that's why I started on Twitch, so that they could watch me trying to do Jad. Turns out the reason I was struggling is because I was doing it with a trackpad.
Aha.
That'll do it.
They used to call me Trackpad Jad.
And
Which I think is actually quite a good challenge.
so you started streaming on Twitch before you'd watched people on Twitch, or?
No, so I'd watched the person that I've currently got my longest subscription to is a guy called Sips. Don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, Yorkscast member, right? Now.
Yeah. So Sips moved away from YouTube really and started streaming, and now basically just uploads VODs or edited VODs onto his YouTube. But he just streams what he wants, whenever he wants, until he gets bored of it, and then goes and streams something else. So that's basically that was what I used to watch. So I used to watch Sips. I genuinely had never watched a single RuneScape stream before I started streaming RuneScape myself. And as is what most people probably did when I started, like nearly 3 years ago now, started watching Old and Gold. Oh, sorry, Golden Glory, whatever it is, however.
Yep.
Until obviously until
Everything went a little bit,
until stuff was discovered. But you know, it is what it is. And then I found Ryan and blah blah blah, and then about a year later, then I think my crew started. So yeah.
And now
That's
there's
it.
so many people. Like the RuneScape free Twitch category has gone insane.
Like the category
since
is literally
lockdown.
just every day it's just getting bigger and bigger. It's ridiculous. I remember when I first started, there was literally 15, mate. Like there was very and everyone knew each other because there was so little.
Yep.
And
even a year ago, there wasn't many.
No, and a lot of it as well. I don't know whether it's people started thinking they're going to get massive success, or what they initially do it for. But a lot of people start and then fade off and just stop or move on to different games. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of burnout with RuneScape, and that's what as a creator, you sort of have to overcome and just keep finding new ways to do it. But then they don't get the success they initially want, like a big boom from it. And that's another thing that I've noticed people drop off for, is they don't put in the grind and, go through the months of having one viewer to really, stick it out to make it, sort of thing. It's not, from what I've had, obviously, in my side as well, I'm fortunate to boom the way that I did, but it comes from effort. If I didn't put the effort in, I wouldn't get there. There's a lot of people who just go live, they have their webcam on, and they immediately expect to get a huge following, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. You've got to have the personality, you've got to really have the draw for people to want to watch you. It's just not a magic, there's no recipe for it, but you got to have it. It's the same in any sort of showbiz industry. You've just got to have it.
Yeah, for instance, Luxy Games, I found she was streaming RuneScape. I think she'd already been streaming for 5 years, and when she was streaming RuneScape, she was 30, 40 viewers, and then she started to move away from that and become variety streaming. And then I think 6 months after doing variety streaming, she was partnered. She was on the Twitch Coke advert. She gets hundreds of viewers a stream now. It's a lot of it is just luck. You've just got to be the right place at the right time, and it can just cannonball.
Yeah.
A lot of success as well. Like a lot of people I've watched now, a lot of growth comes from like Twitter as well and Reddit. Like putting like
if you get a post on Reddit that blows up, you're made basically.
or like little funny compilations of goofy stuff that's happened in your stream. Put that on Twitter. Someone sees it, gets a retweet. Someone like, and then it can just cannonball as well. Like stuff like that. Reddit, Twitter is very good for blowing up.
I seem to remember you getting whacked by a green screen.
Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that really helps. So it's just, but again, you've got to make the effort, and it's got to be 100%. If that's what you want to do, that's what you've got to do. You've got to commit. You've got to make the full effort. You've got to sit after you've streamed, trawl through the clips, find the clips, edit it together, whack it up as soon as you can, because you can't do it later. You know what I mean? If it's not. So, and that's why I think a lot of people, like you said, fall off if they don't find that instant success.
Yeah.
As well, I notice it a lot with mine because I'm a lot smaller community. A lot of people will be like, I've had people that have been there. As soon as I go live, they're there every day, 2-3 months in a row, and then I don't see them again. Like, because people, they have RuneScape's like, for a lot of people is very faddy, if you know what I mean. Like,
it's seasonal is the word I think we're going for here.
They'll play it for 2-3 months. They'll get what they want out of it, and then they'll be like, all right, I'm done for a bit now. I'm gonna go play, or a new game that they've been waiting for has come out. Like, oh, I'm gonna go play that, and then they play that, and then I'm gonna go play this now, and like, you know what I mean. So it just drops off. So you lose, and people have got lives like as well. A lot of people forget that the viewers that are viewing aren't just sat at home playing RuneScape every day. They've probably got families and lives and jobs and
unlike us RuneScape creators, they've got the liberty and the freedom to play whatever they want when they want as well. With us, it's basically we're going to play RuneScape pretty much all the time. If we don't, that's where everything falls apart. And it would be nice to be a variety streamer, but it's hard to make it as a variety streamer. It really is, or a variety channel in general.
Yeah, I tend to now just stream whatever. If people want to watch, they'll watch. If they don't, they don't. I used to be
that's the way it should be, to be honest.
Yeah. How long was it before you made the switch though? Before going variety?
Oh, well, I didn't. So when I first started streaming, I used to stream RuneScape like a couple of days a week, and then I'd play like Oxygen's Not Included, or whatever else I was playing the other time. So like the viewers didn't really change. It was always around the same number-ish. And then I started to pick up more traction on the RuneScape streaming side because of how small the Twitch RuneScape was at the time.
Yeah.
It started getting bigger. And because I wasn't maxed and blah, 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 I had so much content to do that I didn't get burnt out. So I could just stream RuneScape every day without being an issue. But yeah, like, and then might have been like a year and a half before I then started to go back into doing random streams of other games. But at that point, like, I'd already got a relatively
you built your foundation before you jumped off.
Oh, God.
Oh, hello.
We've been joined by a seagull. Well, hello. Hi, mysterious hand holding this. Let me show it to you. Well.
Impressive seagull.
There he is, yeah. Has he
It's
got a
anything
name?
like the seagulls in Australia. You don't want to stand under it, trust me.
His name is Chips. Fantastic. I can't really hang him anywhere.
Can't we call him Mine?
Mine. Hang on, wait.
Mine?
No, I'm trying to hang him somewhere. Can we hang him from the clip there? Yeah. Hang on.
Lovely.
Okay.
I think when I was streaming, because I did the Twitch for a little while there, about a month after starting on YouTube. And for me, because I put so much effort into the editing side, it really started to dwindle my content on YouTube. So it made me sacrifice some quality, because I'll do like my 6-hour stream or whatever, and then you still have to edit afterwards. And I was so puffed from doing the stream and everything like that, where I had to take shortcuts to get the videos done earlier. And that's where I just had to hang up the headphones, I guess you could say, and just say, no, I'm just going to focus on YouTube, get that completely sorted. And who knows, there might be streaming in the future one day, but for now I can't do both. It's just not enough time in the day to do it.
See, the thing that's different for me about my stuff is a lot of it isn't actually in-game. So I don't necessarily have to play RuneScape a huge amount. I just have to know about RuneScape.
Well, even right now, it's like, for me, because I'm doing the agility part, right? It's literally taking me 10 hours between levels to get 30 seconds of footage.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. So, I'm at the end part of the game here, and it's taken me such a long time to get that, just a little bit of footage. But again, you can't skip on the quality. That's what they know me for. So if I was to dip the quality and just put in extra stuff, it's not me. It's not the channel that they subscribe for, if that makes sense. I've got to put that on a freaking thing. I say that so much.
But yeah, just if at the end of the day, I used to be all about, oh, I want to get partnered, I want to be a streamer, but like I always knew, like because of my job and everything, I'd have to be making like stupid money to be able to cover not working my normal job. So then I was like, and then one day it just like clicked, and I was just like, you just start focusing on that too much more than anything else, and then you lose your fun. So now I just stream what I want when I want, as much as I can, and just have fun. If I'm not having fun doing level locks, I'll go and do something else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's more organic that way too. Doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, otherwise if you're forcing yourself, you then just start getting frustrated with it. Like when I was doing the Barrows runs a couple of weeks ago, it was getting so frustrating because it's so hard. Like people, like, so I was trying to explain to randoms, but they don't understand. Like they're like, "Oh, Barrows is easy." I'm like, "It is
Now,
but it is now." I was like, "But try doing it in Legacy with gear from 2005, with no teleports." No, like you've literally to do like no pop, like no good potions, no auras, no nothing. Like you've just got to do it how it was. I've literally got to go in, kill all 6, run back out the tunnel, go up the rope, and start again. I was like, it's not.
Yeah.
Like it makes it so much harder. But the reward, it makes it much more rewarding when you do get a reward. But like Carols, at one point I think I splashed like 9 times in a row on Carols, and I was like, I'm done. I just need to have a break from this because I can't continue to punish myself like this.
That's the magic sauce though for our sort of content, and I'll bring up Settled here as an example, because people in general, they're too lazy to do it themselves. They're like, oh, I'm not going to lock myself tomorrow, Moritano, or do like 200 hours of temple trekking, but they'll happily watch someone else go through the grind for them.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, our sort of content is right for people, but they've never been in the shoes to do it themselves, so they can't really judge on that.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. People are like, oh, when's the next episode? I'm like, literally the last episode was like a month and a half of recording to go into like the prep to do the Legends quest is like pretty much base 50s, and training to get to base 50s in methods from when that time period, like 2004, like to get 50 feeding in 2004 was literally like a week of just standing at the stalls in Fremnik doing stalls, trying to avoid the guards, doing stalls. I'm like, it's and like agility, 2004 agility. There's 3 agility courses. There's the gnome, wilderness,
Lovely,
and what's the other one? Oh, barbarian. Like they're the 3 agility courses. So if you can imagine how slow agility was, I had to get to the level where I could do barbarian, and then I had to sit at barbarian until I could get to wilderness. Like there's no silver horse. There's no shortcuts in it. Like I have to do it as otherwise it's not. There's no point. You know what I mean? I can't just. And obviously I got no bonus XP or anything. So I'm basically an Iron Man that can trade. So it's
That's how I treat Max. I feel you there. I feel the same with the Max series. It's just like people don't realize how many hours it takes to do one minuscule thing that they can just go and buy or just do in 2 seconds.
yeah. So, so I had this conversation in my Discord last night because I was like, oh, really want to make another hardcore Iron Man because I really enjoyed that hardcore Iron Man race to QBD that we did.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that. Like I really enjoyed the like, oh I might die, oh I might die. And then, but then they were like, oh why didn't you do level locked Iron Man? I was like,
because it wasn't out.
It wasn't out, but also I'd probably still be in 2002 because although I'm not using the GE, I'm still able to buy stuff off people randomly just by spamming. Otherwise, like to get soul, I think one of the quests, I can't remember if it's for Heroes Quest or something, have to get soul runes. Soul runes can only be purchased from the Magic Guild. Magic Guild, you have to have 65 magic. Now, for me, if I was an Iron Man, to have gotten 65 magic,
it's a lot of runes.
It's a lot of runes that you can't craft until 2004 because 2004 is when rune crafting came out. So the only way I'd have got runes, the only way I'd have got runes was getting them from the Varrock rune shop because that was the only one that existed. So, and they only sell 300 at a time. And because you're training in Legacy, every spell you cast uses up runes.
Yeah. Yep.
So to get to 65 magic would have literally been like a month of just killing and buying runes and killing stuff to buy runes, to kill stuff, to buy runes, to buy one soul rune to do one minuscule part of a quest.
Yeah.
Like I'd have been bored of the series before I even got off the ground. So
that's like my old school one. If I want to train magic right now because I'm locked in Arduino, I don't have anything that sells me runes, so I'd have to kill goblins for mind runes and then go kill something else to get air runes. And like, that's the sort of grind it would take me to train magic in that area right now. And I'm not going to do that. I'll just wait until I'm in an area that has runes for me because, yeah, that would drive me insane trying to do that.
Yeah. But that's why people do challenge accounts, as it were. Like, don't get me wrong, I love doing level locked, but if it was an Iron Man, I would not.
You have to set limits. Like, you can't say, I'm going to max an account as a region lock, because that in itself is too much, and you'll drive yourself insane trying to do that. But if you say, I'm going to get level 50 in every skill, I'm going to get level 60 in every skill, that's more achievable, and then you're not burnt out by the time you complete it.
Yeah. Like, before level locked, my plan was I was going to do a desert locked Iron Man. Cheers! I was going to do a Iron Man desert Iron Man. But obviously Kathar's doing it now, but he's also using Tuskers. I wasn't going to allow that, and then we worked it out to try and and the goal was going to be to try and get like a God Wars dungeon set.
Yeah.
But like we worked it, like we tried to run the maths and everything, and to get armor and like training methods for ranged and stuff, it was just going to be like.
Well, it's especially tricky now that you don't get armor pieces as drops from
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. That's like old school. It's all right because you still get armor pieces, so you still get the RNG element, but you can still get the drops. Whereas we get salvage, which is I can't convert it from salvage back into armor.
Yeah.
So
well,
then
speaking briefly there of like you wanting to make another hardcore Iron Man, I don't know if you saw that I made a post the other day about an idea I've got of running a series at some point. Obviously there's been a lot of speedruns and stuff at the moment, so it's probably not going to be for like at least a month or so, just to let people get sort of recovered a little bit from it. But it would be probably a hardcore Iron Man run to kill the giant mole.
Yeah,
I've never killed
on a
the giant mole.
free-to-play account, so not a pay-to-play.
What is the giant mole?
It lives
mole.
under Falador Park, and it was
Came out in 2006.
yeah.
Right.
It starts in the middle. There's 4 chambers. You attack it to a certain amount of health. It will then dig and move to another chamber. You can't just surge through the chamber. You have to like run through it. It spawns littler moles. You do damage in there. It moves, and then eventually it ends back up in the middle.
And it's got little mechanics in each room. Like one, it spawns minions. One, there's the ceiling collapses. One, you have to move away from it because it digs and sort of burrows under you. It's a very low-level boss, I would say.
I was scared of bossing when I was growing up in RuneScape because it took me so long to get the gear that I had that I was too afraid of losing it in any way, shape, or form. Especially after like you get lured to wilderness and then you've got to reset and start again because back in those days, obviously, Grand Exchange wasn't a thing as well. So, yeah, that was a hard time to get anything.
So I don't know how quickly you could get to mole. I guess I don't know what the minimum
combat and stuff is, yeah, because it's going to be the items more, because it would be again hardcut Iron Man on free to play, so you know, no trading or anything. Obviously, Iron Man can do ED3 and stuff together, which you know I've got no way of tracking if people aren't doing that.
So what is it? Just the shortest account time?
Yes.
Okay. So
it's a case of what gear do you need?
I reckon you could just absolutely...
Would it be able to be done in one series? One sitting, sorry?
Potentially.
I mean, my crew did Fire Cape in 20-something hours from scratch.
I mean, I would imagine it's going to be something like probably 5 to 10 hours at most. For mole.
Yeah, I could literally just sit at Trolls, get magic, go straight. Get a shield, deflect, revolution, and then, like...
Yeah, but what levels deflect? Your combat abilities, I don't know what level you need.
Oh, yeah.
Reflect or deflect?
Because you don't really need
37.
I reckon. I don't know. Have to say.
Because it's got 68k life points. It's still a decent chunk of damage you'll have to do. So
you've only just got to get enough to be able to damage it, and then you could literally go, like, train for an hour, get a weapon, and then spend 4 hours killing it and win. You know what I mean? If it took you 4 hours to kill the mole, but your account time was 5, you're still... You know what I mean?
See,
Is there a safe spot?
What I was thinking...
No, you can't safe spot. There's no safe spots because he moves.
And he attacks you even if you're out of... Or, sorry, she attacks you if you're outside of their range. But what I was thinking is I'd have it like culminate in a final show where everyone has to do their attempt. So they only get one attempt at it. At the kill. So rather than being able to repeat it, you just have one final go. No teleporting out or anything like that. So the stats you go in are, you know, what you're either dying at or you're getting the kill.
And it's free to play in it, so you don't get deep fishing.
Yeah,
that is
the quests and...
You'd have to do it when beach event's off as well, because beach event you could cheat.
Well, like I said, I was thinking like in a month or so, and when the beta's down as well, so people can't just practice over and over on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the camera improvements and stuff look really nice.
I haven't
the offset.
Yeah. And
for myself, with the cinematic stuff, really nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure the other shark would be happy about that as well.
Well, because I mean, you're going like 21:9 now, aren't you? Instead of 16:9 for the videos, or close to it. For Mad Max, at least, Mr. Shark.
Yeah, my new cinematic angles. Yeah, that was a big change for me. I was debating on it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it because it makes everything look prettier, and then I can actually drop the frame rate to 20. A little bit of spoilers on how I do things. Drop the frame rates down to 25 when I need to and get that really like nice, crisp cinematic shot and everything. And yeah, it worked out a lot better to do that. I like depth of field. That's one of my favorite updates that they've done in a long time because it really like it's always there, but it just makes everything just nice, much nicer.
It just needs some kind of scaling, I think, though.
What I like about
A slider. That's all we need. A slider.
Is it? What is the rune? What's the old school character called that everyone uses? RuneLight.
RuneLight. Yeah.
RuneLight's got so many things that just make it
fun,
better,
and nice. Yeah.
RuneLight is needed in some regards because it's like there's just things in old school that are so annoying, like the draw distance. It's terrible. And when you're trying to just run an agility course, it's always like in the black part of it and you can't even see the next click. So using RuneLight, you up your draw distance and it fixes the problem.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I logged in to old school just because I needed a shot of the Grand Exchange. And I was like, I can see about 5 squares around my character. How am I going to do this? So then I just went into RuneLight and looked at the draw distance settings. I was like, perfect.
It's so weird that you have to, like, I asked, who was it, Mod Ash the other day? I think it was, about the Orb of Oculus on old school. And I was like, hey, can I apply for this? Like, how do I get one? And he's like, yeah, you can apply for it, but pretty much guaranteed no one's going to respond to you. And I'm like, well, as a creator who does cinematic stuff, that's kind of sad. Because I really want those like really nice shots. And he's like, yeah, we don't give it to everyone. But on RS3, everyone can just go buy one. Or there's free cam. You can do it from your compass.
Yeah, I don't see what the issue with having that freedom of the camera is. Like,
I don't know either. Like, what would it break? I don't know.
Like, what is it that's hidden or... Like,
it's also a little bit unfair in the content creation side when like someone has it and you don't, and you can't meet their quality standard because they have it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what we are doing is promoting their game, so it would be in their best interest to give us the tools to do that better, or to the best of our capability anyway.
Okay, shall we move away from RuneScape? We've had about an hour pretty much focused on it, so let us find... We'll stick with gaming, and we'll go with a nice big topic of what makes a good game.
Didn't you say you had a list of topics?
I do.
You actually drew out a list of them.
I have a big old list here, but I'm not deleting them as I go, which is probably an issue. But yeah, what makes a good game in your eyes, Jim? As Mash has had to disappear for the birthday, I would imagine again.
Okay, so I can forgive bad graphics if it's got good. First of all, the controls have to be good. If you're playing something that has really poor controls, what was that game, that running game that everyone used to play, QWERTY or something like that? Quap, that's it. Fun game, honestly, fun game, but terrible mechanics. So if you've got a game that has really bad handling and stuff like that, I'll talk about racing games in particular. It's easier to talk about that. Okay. So if you've got a game that's a racing game and it doesn't feel natural, the cars feel like they're on rails, I hate it straight away. Because again, you can have arcade races, that's fine, but when you're trying to make a realistic racing game and it literally doesn't handle the way a normal car would, it doesn't feel like the car has the right weight and everything like that, totally throws me off. So the first thing you need is to get the mechanics right. The next thing would be I think it's something that's very overlooked, is the sound. You can immerse me into a world. I don't need dialogue, I don't need story, but if it has really good sound quality, then I'm going to get invested into it because it doesn't sound like a cheese grater in my ear. I can really get into it. The rest after that would be story, then graphics.
I am a sucker for aesthetic. If it looks pretty, I don't. Well, I say that, but I really enjoy like just looking at my Steam library. I really enjoy like.
I just enjoy looking at my Steam library, you know, seeing all that money I spent and that I've barely played.
Best game.
I like cartoony, like simple games, I guess. But like, I really
like Shovel Knight.
I enjoy Oxygen's Not Included, which is very similar stuff. I think it's the same people that make Don't Starve, so it's that kind of
Okay, yeah.
hand drawn kind of look.
Yeah,
I
and
love cell shaded. That's awesome.
yeah, and I enjoy Prison Architect. But then, like on the flip side, I really enjoy City Skylines, which is like really detailed city builder.
If your computer can handle it. I've played that one quite a few times, and it's like, computer just started to take off.
At one point, yeah, it just suddenly the CPU usage seems to just rocket as as the population rises.
I mean, my
my
cities are ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen any of them. I stream it, so but I love City Skylines. I'm gonna look at my hours in City Skylines, but
have you got many of the DLCs for it? Because I haven't really got into them yet. Sorry,
I've got all of them.
What would you say is the best ones?
Destruction simulator ones, the weather, the hurricane, the floods. I love that.
The natural disasters pack is really good. It can mess you up, but it is also really good. So that can be. It depends what you want out of it. Like, so obviously, if you'd like to build a city and then it just all of a sudden get absolutely clapped by a meteor, then yeah, sure. But if you want things that are gonna help with the city, like building, probably. Which one is it? The Industries ones is quite good, but I'd say Park Life is a good DLC because you can make, instead of just plonking down the little pre-made parks, you can make your own parks. So you designate an area and then you draw the roads through it, put like attractions in it. You can get like a theme park, a zoo. That one's quite a good one. Or I'm trying to remember what it's called. I've got it.
That's a workshop game, isn't it? A Steam Workshop one, so you can download mods.
There's a lot of like traffic control mods and stuff. I know.
Yeah, but there's one.
Yeah, really cool interchanges.
The Park Life one's good. Mass Transit is also good. It adds blimps, more train stuff. So yeah, you can normally pick them. You can pick the best bit is now. You can pick them like the DLCs. They're all like a $5 each.
Yeah.
So, but I've got 200 hours in City Skylines. What have we got? What other ones do I play? Oxygen's not included. I've got 130 hours. Prison Architect, I've got 100 hours. So, yeah, nothing ridiculous, but still. I did get
sorry.
Stardew Valley as well. I got 70 hours in Stardew Valley, which is I really enjoy Stardew Valley. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's cute. You know what I mean?
What's that Nintendo one that it's like Stardew?
Animal Crossing. Yeah, had that for the DS. Back in the day.
I really want to get it. I've got a Switch. I should just buy it. Seems like a good game.
Yeah, there's no point in waiting. It's not going to get any cheaper. It's Nintendo.
Yeah, because it's Nintendo. What about you, Eddie?
What makes a good game?
Yeah.
I'd agree with you on putting sound as quite important. Like, it's funny the amount of people that don't listen to like RuneScape, for example, with sound.
Hello.
If you do, it really does kind of...
Yeah, I'm one of those. Just because I put my own music in the background of the footage, so yeah. But I get where you're coming from.
And for me, graphics, though, I mean, they obviously help with the initial impression of it, but they shouldn't be the overall defining factor of if I play it and keep playing it. In terms of like games that I play a lot of, Rocket League is the current one that I keep going back to, and it's quite in some ways a simple game, but in a lot of ways very complex. Like, it's that skill ceiling. It's got the skill ceiling from being first starting, just hit the ball, basic jumping, to fly through the air, twisting and spinning. Like, that's what I like about Rocket League, is that constant sort of growth and skill.
Do you use keyboard or
no, Xbox controller?
Yeah, same. Because when I play Rocket League, I can only play with the controller as well. I've tried the keyboard, and you just can't get the same angles and same flicks. It just doesn't feel right. And again, for any racing game, it's sort of like that. I'll chuck in the Xbox controller. I mean, I get you on that front.
Sorry to break the immersion, but I've got like a wheel thing as well set up.
Yeah. So, I've got the G520.
I think it's 920.
Nice.
I've got or one of them. No, it's 520. Yeah.
520. Yeah, 920 is the webcam. I'm such a
I have
Logitech
both.
whore.
One of my pals from school popped in stream the other day and was like, "Are you excited? Are you excited for Are you excited for Flight Sim?" And I was like, "I've never really played it." He's like, "Well, do you want to come to mine? I've got the full rig." He's like, "I've got everything." I was like, "Oh, that sounds like I'd be keen to play it if it was like that with like the full immersion." But I wouldn't get it. And then like I've got farming simulator, which is great.
I love Farming Simulator.
I love farming simulator. But then they've got people that I've watched on Twitch and they've got like the full
Yeah, I've seen that.
in their lounge, and I'm like, all right, like there's me, like casual gamer, and then there's like, basically a farmer, but you're sat at home. So like,
I kind of wish I did have that set up for the forestry. Like, if you're doing forestry, I reckon that'd be pretty cool to have that set up.
that stupid thing that cuts it at the bottom, and then if
Yeah.
it clips a branch of another tree, it's just like it just starts helicoptering.
The scorpion.
How has this happened? Like the truck's turned over, the tree's still upright. I'm like, for God's sake, what is going?
You can play that game real casual, or you can get hardcore farming with like deterioration going over your crops and stuff. It's crazy.
There's some clips when I played it, when I was streaming it. At one point, I'd just been and bought my new tractor. I put it on cruise control. I think I was talking to Mod Shogun. Looked back at the screen. I drove it into a lake.
We used to jump the Mustang over the lake on that map. Like, we used to get the ramp of the back of the truck and then just straight over the lake.
And then another time I was driving and I took a corner too tight, drove the tractor off a bridge. So then I was like, no, it's fine. We'll use another tractor to push it back out.
Yeah.
And then ended up getting two tractors stuck down there. And I was just like, okay. So
I've had some good moments on that game.
We just fuck about. But that's
you tell people that it's a good game and they're like, don't believe you. They go, it's farming simulator. How can it be fun? Trust me, play it. It's hilariously fun.
You make it what you want. Like I had it. I think it was like 4 of us on there, and I'd just be doing something, and then someone would just come out of nowhere and just fucking like T-bone me and flip the truck over, and I'm like, are you really? Like, I remember watching Sips play it, and there was a bit, and he had everyone, like there was like 10 or 15 people on there, and they were all taking the horses out, and then you know the map with the castle at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
They managed to get a horse stuck in there. He couldn't reset the horse, so then they made it their mission for like an hour and a half on stream to get this horse back out the castle, and it ended up all of them getting inside this. And then like corner glitching and getting each other stuck on top of it, and then managed to ride the horse up this like totem pole of people in the night. Like it's just so, and like you can see the genuine elation on his face when they finally get it out, and he's like, "We did it! We did it!" Like, it's just so excited that he finally got this horse that he didn't even need. Like he could have just left there, but he just wanted the horse out of there. It was just like you can just random stuff like that happens. Like it doesn't, like you don't have to sit there and go like, I'm going to plow this field. Like you can just fuck about. But also,
I love
be like,
sandbox games for that reason though. Like any sandbox game, like GTA, Minecraft, whatever, it's your story to create. They give you the tools, you just do whatever you want to do with them.
For me, I'd say Planet Coaster is like another one that I've played a lot of, like the roller coaster simulation, like theme park building games, where you can play it seriously and try and make a proper theme park that works, or you can just make a stupid roller coaster and fire it at people. And
and that's what makes a good game.
I'd hate to see how many hours I've put into Minecraft. Luckily, there isn't a total
tracker.
Yeah. Because I'd genuinely I think I'd be disgusted with myself with the amount of hours that I've put into Minecraft throughout since I think I've had my Minecraft account, I think 2011. So like Imagine.
I think everyone has crazy Minecraft stories just from like stuff that they've done over the years. I still remember my first house in the alpha. I was just like so proud of it and everything. And then you look at it nowadays and it's like, bro, what
are you
is this?
thinking? Yeah.
I remember when they introduced the Nether, and I was running my own server on my Mac. I had a Mac Mini that I was using to run the server, and then I had a MacBook that I was playing Minecraft on. And I remember updating it to have the Nether, and I got home from work early, and everyone else was still out and about and doing whatever. And I made the Nether portal, and I just remember taking a photo and sending it to like the group chat and being like, "What have I done?" Like it was there, it was going making those horrific noises, and I was like, oh. Like I'd made it right by my house. It was really noisy. And I was like, I got in there. All of a sudden, all I heard was the gas go, and I was like, nope, just I'm going back through.
That feeling when you reverse the ghast and hit it straight away, and it's just like, yes,
Yeah.
one of those little gratification moments in Minecraft.
But yeah, so many funny stuff. The best bit with Minecraft is because, like, I know so many people. Like, my mate was like, completely against it. Like, oh, it's got like not his game at all. Loves like shooting games, Call of Duty, like GTA, all of them things where he can just fuck around and shoot people. And we were all like, yeah, well, we want to play Minecraft. And then he ended up playing Minecraft and like really enjoying it. And
I
then,
love
like,
that. I love that happen.
Like he just flipped, and then he was like, I'm going to build this, and then spent like a week to try and build this, and it looked awful, but he was so pleased with it because he was like, oh, like it took him so long to make, and we were like, yeah, it looked awful, but he was just like so proud of it. Like it's just that, like, I think it's just people are so against it until they try it, and then they realize, oh, like it's instant reward in it, like 6 hours of grinding to get all the materials.
That's farming sim in a nutshell.
It's a lot of games, isn't it? It's that just moment of like completion and success.
I have a story about that. So I needed the game to obviously distract myself from RuneScape because it was about April and I was just like hardcore into the grind of content creation and everything, and I needed something to get away. So one of the admins in my group was like, hey, have you played Ark? And I go, yeah, I have. So we started playing Ark on a server, and as you do, you have your little like shitty house that you build at the start, and then you go off from there. And I legit, because they're obviously from the UK, I stayed up all night building this really, really nice house. And then I get up in the morning once it's all done, and they've gone and built a base like on the other side of the map, completely nowhere near where I built this building. And I'm just like, oh.
What do you do?
I thought I was like so good because I've got so many dinosaurs for them and everything, and then here they are over on the other side of the map in their base with dragons. Yep, good job, Jim.
I remember my mates back on Minecraft was playing it on Xbox because they'd all got it on Xbox. So they made a separate group chat without me to play Minecraft without me for some reason. Like I'd done something to upset them. So they were like, fine, fuck it. So they were like the anti-mash server, mashless Minecraft or something they called it. And I was like, fucking I got on there, and they'd made this massive house, like for all of them to live in. But they made it out of wood.
Oh
no!
Flint and steel, where you at?
I was just like, alright, you want to play without me? Fuck yes. So I just went in with a flint and steel and just lit one cube and just ran off, and they were like, yeah, like they were fuming, and I was like, fancy making it out of bloody like timber. I was like, it was ugly as sin. I was like, it was just a giant box, like with a massive wooden staircase, and I was like, it's just like, come on. And they were like,
did you have that moment where they're like, this is why we don't play with you?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it all happened because the one before, my mate had made like this massive wooden pirate ship that he'd obviously copied off like an online guide. And then, you know, the random events when like the 4 horsemen appear and like in the lightning storm.
Yeah.
So we were playing and the lightning storm hit his boat. So all the skeleton zombies, like the skeleton zombie things landed on his boat. But his boat's on fire. So then we're trying to put it out, and then he's come on and he's like, "You set my boat on fire." Like, no, there's literally like skeleton horses on your boat. That wasn't us. He's like,
No
"No, it
trust.
was you." I was like, "Oh, all
No
right,
trust.
all right, yeah, sound. That's fine." So yeah, but it is in it. It's games that you can create your own story with, like, and you can have. I think it's that interaction where you can just have fun. Like, I've had it on RuneScape as well, where with like me and my mates, we were trying to learn to do like Virago, and I've forgotten to get off, and I've just absolutely destroyed someone with like a deep breath into a fucking asphyx. You know what I mean? Because I haven't gone off. Or I remember stunning Yaka on stun pool. And then I kicked off, and then I was like, "Oh, well done!" And then everyone was like, "Yeah, that was you that killed us." I was like, "Oh."
Wow.
I wish I could PVM.
You
I said it every time.
It's great fun.
I'm missing out on so much.
But like that's the classic kind of definition of gaming, isn't it? Is that it should be fun. That like is, I would say, the core is fun to any game.
When did you know that you were onto something good, Spider? Like with streaming. When was that like, this is something? Like, this is really something here?
I think when people just started messaging me, like, say if I wasn't streaming on that day, "Oh, why are you not live?
Yeah.
Where are you going live now?" Or like, it'd be like, because I always used to start. I think I used to like my schedule back then with my old job was always like 8 till 11. Like I'd stream 8 till 11, and it'd be like 8:05, and I'd be getting messages on Discord being like, "You're late." I'm like, "Sorry, hello." Like, what? They're like, "It's 8:05. Where are you?" And I'm like, "All right."
You're late for work. Come on.
Like I think that was not that it happens
Second job.
anymore, but it's nice now because obviously with again now with work being able to try not to stream, it's nice to have not streamed for like a couple of days and then turn up and people will be like, "Oh, where you been?" Or like, you know what I mean? Like people genuinely, I
You
guess
can
they
chat
miss-
about stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
They kind of miss you, I guess.
It gives
It's
you
nice
more to
that-
talk about as well.
Yeah, it's nice that people want to, like, they don't forget about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm the same as well. Like, I won't have seen someone in chat for like a month or two that I know will have been in there loads. So if I've got them on Discord, I'll always try and ping them a Discord and just be like, "Yo, just checking in to make sure you're all right," kind of thing. Because, like, obviously at the end of the day, they've taken their time out to come and watch me or subscribe or donate or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it's nice to, because some people like, obviously you don't get that with the massive streamers. Like, imagine someone like Tapman Tim, like he ain't gonna notice that. Oh, Spidermash hasn't been there for 3 weeks in a row. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
I think that's the thing with RuneScape as a community. It's big, but it's small enough to still feel family.
Yeah.
Like, you still know who everyone is in the community, be it players, be it streamers, community. Like, it's all, everyone knows everyone. Whereas you go to a game like Fortnite, it's like, who's this guy? Oh, it's just another streamer of the 1 million trying to do it, sort of thing.
Yeah, like if you look in anyone's chat, you'll generally see some of the same names that cross across between chats.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
And you sort of get to know people through that, not just the streamers, but the actual.
yeah. I think everyone knows Cleggy because of my chat.
Mm-hmm.
Predominantly.
My thing is, like, I only know people from the RuneScape community, though, myself, because of these podcasts. I'm so burnt out by doing content myself, the way that I do it, that I don't really want to watch anyone else's content, if that makes sense, because it's like, here's more RuneScape. I do it myself, I play it myself, but I can't go and deliberately watch RuneScape content anymore because of this. Beforehand, I could, but not anymore.
So, the thing is, if I didn't do that, then my content dies.
Your content's built around that, though.
Exactly. I have to watch other people, or I have nothing, effectively, because it is, with the weekly things that I've been doing, that's a lot of, basically my entire Thursday is watching various YouTube videos and Twitch clips to get everything
That's
ready
why I
for
love
Friday.
the podcast, because it's like I get to learn who these people are, what they're about, what their story is, and I think everyone, you know, it's a hard thing to pick up the, I guess you could say, camera, even if you're not using one, but just to start hitting record, put yourself out there. It's one of the hardest things to do. Put yourself open to criticism and everything like that. And you know, it's cool to hear people's ways of how they initially got into that.
Yeah, I watch a lot of old school content more than I watch RS3, I guess.
Yeah,
I
same,
watch
100%.
Probably makes
trying to think.
sense because you're already playing RS3, so you kind of want
Yeah,
to watch something different.
I watch RS3 streams more than I watch YouTube. Like
Yeah.
mainly because
Yeah.
like YouTube, there isn't really much like old school content. There's so much variety. There's a lot of PKing videos now. The trend on old school is like hardcore PKing,
Skull
so
tricking.
skull tricking. Like I like Torvesta's videos. I just like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I like the meme style of editing with the and the you know what I mean, like him getting slapped and like stuff like that. But
Yeah.
RS3, it's like I'm going to open a bajillion clues. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like there's, unfortunately for us, we haven't got as much of a diverse game that people want to watch content-wise. It's,
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
the diversity could be there. It's just it needs people to watch it, and if people don't watch it initially, then the person that made the content's not going to make it again, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I found my niche. Is I seen that gap and I was like, yeah, I can feel that with like something different. And that's like why I picked up the camera and started doing it, because I was like, yeah, old school has this, RuneScape 3 doesn't, so let's bring that across.
Yeah, that's basically what mine was. Mine's very similar to by release, but with a different twist on it. I mean, I spoke to Jimmy and he was fine with it. He was like, I don't care. He's like, you're RS3. It ain't going to affect me. Basically. Like, he's like, as long as you're not as funny as me, that's fine. I was like, all right, sweet.
On an entrepreneur side, I have to congratulate all of those old school guys for being the first to break into the sponsor market. Like if you're a creator, obviously, and you've got swearing in your video, and like on YouTube, you'll get demonetized, right? So they're the first group of people, Jimmy, Torvesta, C Engineer, they're the first group to really make that connection with advertisers and say, hey, our content is worth sponsoring. So they really broke down the wall for the rest of us.
Yeah, and it's good. Like, at the end of the day, their videos are hitting like hundreds of thousands of views. They've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like, why shouldn't they get a kickback from it? At the end of the day, they're spending hours and hours of days to make content to as their job.
Yeah.
Like, why shouldn't they be allowed to get
be
like,
hey guys,
hey guys, I'm gonna do a raid show to sponsor Legend. Like, they're gonna give me $5,000. Like,
yeah, literally.
If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, this is my job. I got
to put food on the table. And I had this in my channel last week where I had a comment that was, you should turn off monetization for your videos. And I'm like, but I'm doing this full time. You don't understand. Like, without the monetization, there's no food on the table. There's no bills being paid. Like, you're getting the content for free. There's no paywall. I'm not putting it behind a paywall or anything. You're choosing to watch it with no, like, obviously you got YouTube Red, there's ads, you use your ad block or whatever. Like, I'm not stopping you from watching the video. So why does me monetizing and getting paid for my literal 16 hours of work editing alone, why does that affect you? And that comment really got to me last week.
Yeah. That's why I felt really bad. Like, I put on Twitter about doing like the sellout stream to try and get some money to help build the PC. Because I was like, I don't want to, if people want to watch me, I'm not like, I'm going to do a subathon. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. If you donate, like, you have to donate. Why aren't you donating? Like, you have to sub. You have to sub. Like, I'm not like that. Like, people just want to, I'd much rather people just drop a follow and just turn up every day than subscribe for a month and never see them again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like now I'm like, if you could subscribe on my YouTube, I was like, it doesn't cost you anything, but it'll help me.
Yeah.
So
And same with sharing it. Like that's the most powerful thing someone can do for free is just to share it. More eyes on it, and then if they become repeat viewers, it just adds to the collective, and that's another way of helping your favorite content creator is literally hitting that share button.
yeah, and that's why when I asked on Twitter, I was like, would you guys be down if you can, like, donate to help me get the new computer so that when I am away,
Yeah.
I can stream, I can keep making content, because I love making content. Like, I like streaming as much as sometimes it looks like I don't like it. I do genuinely enjoy it. And I want to keep it up, but if I can't, like, feasibly, it doesn't make sense to be able to take my main computer with me to work, because it's glass, it's like delicate, there's like, it's ridiculously heavy and big. It's not mobile, and it just takes up loads of space. And especially when I'm working away, if I'm stopping at a hotel, last thing I want to do is like just lug a massive PC through the hotel lobby
with a couple of monitors as well. Just
the monitors, like, and then I've got to, like, I can't play it online anyway because it hasn't got Wi-Fi. I'm like, it's just not. So, but
Yeah,
everyone was like, yeah. At the end of the day, like, if people can support you, then what's stopping them? Like, and people
I think
did.
that's the thing. They want to support you as well. Like it's same thing with the Patreon. I had people in Discord saying you've got to do the Patreon plug, because that's how you're obviously gonna, if you fall short on AdSense, you're gonna, pick yourself up. And I'm going, I just feel weird asking people for it. Like I don't want to, but I kind of need to if I'm gonna do it. And they're like, no, you've just got to do it. Like, don't feel ashamed doing it. You're doing an honest job. And I'm just like, it just feels weird. I'm not the sort of person who asks for handouts. I've got everything, in life on my own, and I pride myself in that. It just feels weird.
Yeah, any kind of shout out for liking or subscribing the videos, I still just, it doesn't, I don't know. I just haven't got it. Like, it feels very artificial, whatever it sort of said.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to make it
forget.
for that. Like, I want to make the whole video kind of its own self-encapsulated thing, and I think that comes from doing like the film production thing, where you don't ask for anything within the media itself. It should be an external sort of thing, but that's not how YouTube works.
The research they've done into it is that if you don't say it, there's people who would have subscribed, right? But because you didn't say it, you haven't triggered them to do it. Like there's some really cool experiments with it, and they go deep into the mindset of like humans as to why that works. You need to just give people the push to actually do it. It's so weird, but it's true.
But yeah, it is one of those things. At the end of the day, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't say, hey, subscribe, it's free, people will just be like, they'll literally wait until they see it pop up on Twitter, and they'll be like, alright, I'll click and watch the video now. They'll still watch the video, but they won't subscribe, because they're like, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter.
They haven't been the push to do it, yeah.
I follow him on Twitter. I'll see when he gets the new video out. Job done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like Reddit so much. I don't know why, but apparently it's such a taboo to advertise yourself on Reddit.
Yeah, it really is. Like,
it's a massive source of fucking players that I'd say like 90% of the people probably are on there, and they're like, oh, look, a new video. Oh, that looks cool. Like, oh, I like this idea. Like, when I posted about the content idea, so many, like, and I didn't have a link to it, like, to the YouTube or anything. So many people are like, oh, this is a sick idea, blah, 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 blah. But then as soon as I'm like, hey, so the first video's out, here's the video, this is what it is, everyone's like, downvote, downvote, downvote.
Yeah, and they're the same people saying, oh, we need new content creators, it's getting stale. But then you try to put something in front of them, and it's like, oh, you're just out self-promoting. And it's like, how do I reach you if I don't do it? You're asking for it, and here's the answer.
If you don't self-promote, how are you ever going to find it? Are you literally going on YouTube every day and searching for content? And if you are, what are you typing to find people? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yeah. That's where I've spoken to Eddie plenty of times off camera about his searchability, and I go, it's so niche that there's just got to be something, and that's where we're working on titles and descriptions to just try and bring him to the audience. Like, he deserves it, and it's just that so niche, hard to get people to search it.
But I mean, that's kind of what I signed up with, or sort of for going for interviews with people. Not everyone's going to be interested in that sort of content, and especially in like the RuneScape category, everyone likes to see progression and in-game footage. It does feel like actually just having in-game stuff is key.
Well, we talked about this right at the start, right? The rock stars that we're obviously into, Asking Alexandria, Falling Reverse, Trivium, right? You are doing what they're doing. You're bringing out the personality of the person behind the content. That's what is so unique about you, and that's why, it's a very awesome topic that you're covering.
It's just how many people are actually interested in that, I guess, is the thing.
It would be more if RuneScape 3 was a more popular subject to begin with. That's the thing.
I feel like if you could branch out into old school.
I could.
We got to get you some connections. We got to get you some old school connections.
The problem is I haven't played old school still, so I feel like
as long as you're a host, man.
Then yeah, I mean maybe the easiest way is to get someone on one of these, on a podcast first.
There we go. Make that a thing. Let's do it.
I mean, Seven is very in with Jimmy. That's how I got to speak to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like, someone that knows someone that knows someone. Like, it's not. I mean, a lot of people are like, when I was at RuneFest, I was off talking to old school streamers and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not exactly a forgettable. So if I go into a stream and I'm like, hey, and then we start talking, and I'm like, yeah, I met you at RuneFest. I'm like, I'm that really tall guy with the blonde hair. Like, oh yeah, I remember you. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how like I got talking to Shaperka. Like, I hang out in her streams now. She knows who I am. Like, we remember the chat. Like, stuff like that. It's like, at the end of the day, they just want people to talk to them normally.
Because they're humans, just like everyone else.
That's why Rav finds it so confusing that I speak to so many J mods. I'm like, well, that's because everyone talks to them. I don't know whether they just talk to them or they just moan at them or whatever. I'm like, but they literally they're just the same as us. Like,
yeah, I
mean, they do a 9 to 5, get their food, save
doesn't mean
supply.
that they want to talk about RuneScape all the time. Like,
Yep.
This week I played golf with friends with Mod Dio and Mod G. And
golf with friends is amazing. I love that.
It was so much fun. Like, I've never played it before, but they were both like, get it. And I was like, all right, I'll get it. So I played that. And obviously I play a lot of Call of Duty with like Breezy and Iago.
Mm-hmm.
But there's again, like when I'm playing with them, obviously they play with all their mates out the office. So I play with like old school mods that I don't really know what they do, but I don't talk to them about work or anything. You just talk to them like we're, you know what I mean? But like, it's so easy to make connections. Like, you've just got to stop treating people like they're like a superstar, because they're like a lot of people do that. You know what I mean? Like, they go to RuneFest and stuff, and people are like proper fangirling-ish.
Simps or whatever they call them. I don't know what the modern trend is.
Like, you know what I mean? And they're just like, yeah. They're not really interested. But if you just talk to them, like, you just talk to people, like, get to know people.
Yeah. And just, I found that as well. Like, I've now had the experience a fair few times where I'm running around just RuneScape in general, and then people are like, hey, it's Max, and they're like, I really love your stuff. And I'm like, cool. And then they just keep like, I love your stuff. And it's like, talk to me about something. Like, I'm more interested in you. What did you do today? Like, just talk to me with like a normal conversation, and just don't make it, because I'm no bigger than you. I'm no different than you. I just happen to make content, and that's it. And I've always tried to stay grounded like that. And I feel that's the way that you've really got to be in this industry. Because once you get an ego, that's when things start to fall apart. Who was it who talked about that? Joe Rogan.
Probably a lot of people. Sorry, there's just a pretty funky tune going on in the Ratchet like soundtrack that like put me off for the last 30 seconds.
In a Ratchet and Clank trance.
Didn't we have that last week? I was saying something, and then the music just happened to match what I was saying.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Oh dear, last week was.
If you could do an Iron Man, right?
Okay.
An Iron Man series, but you had the ability to choose one town from old school, and because I'm sort of referencing off this with my one, you choose one old school town and you choose one RS3 town, and you can time travel between the two, and that's your two regions. Where would you go?
Wait, is it the same town in both timelines?
Yeah,
or...
so you can have the both same town, but where would you go?
Well, wait, when we say town, how big of a region? So if I say Al-Kharid, is that Al-Kharid?
Say one of the kingdoms.
And... Okay. Right, where's the map?
Mauritania. Because our timelines are they've just got the vampire versus
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
they've just had that, haven't they? They've just, like, I watched a quick bit of it, and it's basically they're because I vaguely remember us, like, before level locked I used to just spacebar quests, so but I vaguely remember that in RS3 we've got werewolves versus vampires, isn't it? And they're now just having that werewolf versus vampire thing, so I'd like to see the differences between them two.
They only just got the blood amulet too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what's in old school at all, so to be honest, I'd just be tempted to say the desert, because I quite like the desert as an area.
Yeah, old school desert was interesting times. That's where we used to train our combat all the time, was at the bandit camp, and that was basically the spot to train everything. You wanted 99 attack and strength, you would go there. Just basically camp it all day, every day.
Why?
I remember Hellhounds was like that too. Because there was the... What was it? If you wore a holy symbol or something like that, the bandits would always auto-attack you, so you could go AFK and just get XP.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those sorts of things. And I guess you can do that now easier in RuneScape 3 thanks to the aggression potions. I don't believe they were a thing on old school. So you basically just walk into anywhere, aggression...
Yeah, what area were we on about that they auto-attack you?
The bandit camp.
Yes.
bandit
Yeah,
camp.
if you wear any god item, if you wear Zamarok, if you walk into there, they'll start attacking you.
Yeah.
On RS3.
That's how we got our XPs.
So yeah, I don't know, I'd be tempted to say the desert, but that's partly because God Wars 2's in there and I like my combat, so...
I reckon after this podcast we'll go do an hour at Hellway with you.
The three of us. See, that's one thing I was
I've done
thinking,
it, but I'm not good at it.
one thing I was thinking as well, we could maybe do this podcast with a boss mass just in the background, like God Wars 2 or something, because it is quite casual, click and not respond to anything, and if there's enough people then it doesn't, you know.
We used to, when we, like, going back to that story earlier when we were learning to boss, remember we always used to all build a Dren and then all onslaught and see if we could kill it before we died from onslaught. That was a fun game we used to do.
See, I've got an idea, but I don't know how I'm going to get enough people together, and it's to one-shot Vindictor, like literally in one ability from everybody. And you can have a max of 50 people, so it should technically be possible.
How much health has Vindictor got?
200k. 200k.
200k.
Depends if everyone has Inquisitor staff, so it would be very easy with like 10 people.
Well, always melee better, because...
If you had 50 people with the rock amulet Gajigga thing on.
Sorry?
One health.
What was that?
The rock amulet Gajigga thing.
Gajigga thing?
You know, from the archaeologies. And they're all sat like 1,000 health. You'd only need like 5 people, and you could all just like 10k it. Or 30k or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I wonder what, right? I don't know. I'd imagine someone's done it somewhere. The rock relic thing, low health with Ingenuity Humans SGB spec.
I'd imagine.
I'd like to see how much damage that would output.
Sorry, Jim. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I only learnt the other day that RS3 has weapon specs. I didn't know.
I mean, SGB's like SGB, Gothic Staff are the two most well-known ones, I'd say, and that's because they're used in Talos a lot, and the Statius Warhammer as well.
Well, it does seem for the most part, if it does have a spec on it, from now what I've learnt, they're all shit. So
Mostly.
SGB is alright. The Nox weapons isn't.
The Mirrorback one is.
Yeah, Staff Slisk isn't.
Zara's Godsword's good.
DGS is good, yeah. Predominantly, the ones that are good, people just use as switches. I.e. G-Staff, ZGS, SGB.
Some people use like the Dragon Battle Axe if they're going for like speed kills.
Oh yeah, that's how I did my Vindictor speed kill, and that's how I did my KBD speed kill.
What time did you get a Vindictor in the end?
I haven't been back since I was... So my Vindictor is 57 seconds.
So you beat the time that I had, but then I've beaten it since. So come on, Max, you got to step.
I got an 11-second KBD.
Okay, let's have a look at my KBD. 12.
Have you got the medallion, the Darok?
I do, yeah, I do.
So
now.
I haven't got that, so I reckon I could still shave a couple of seconds off both KBD and Vindy with that on.
I mean, Vindy, you should easily, because I've got a 51, so...
Oh, yeah, fucking hell then.
So I'm sure you can get a sub 50.
I don't think any of us are going to be doing a base tank 16-second Vindy kill.
No. Have you seen him and B's next kills recently?
No.
They've been actually insane, like 1 minute flat, basically.
He's just another level for speed killing shit. Yeah, it's just understanding the mechanics of the game, and I'm just not smart enough.
Haven't put enough time into it.
Not
smart enough. You haven't put enough time into it. Come on, Mash.
My brain is predominantly full of song lyrics from a massive back catalogue.
I think I've heard what's that song, Garden, so many times. No, Harmony. That's it. Harmony.
Oh, Harmony.
Yep, that just constantly plays in my head because it's the only thing you really use when you're making videos. It just fits so many different situations.
It fits everything. Yeah, I was like, right, I want to find another piece that's kind of iconic to use. Wait, no, it just works.
Is Harmony the one that's bana 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 bana, or is that Legends?
No, that's Hero's Return.
Is that Hero's Return?
Yes.
We have to give a massive shout out to Jagex for letting us use their soundtrack for royalty free. That's pretty boss for them. Mm-hmm. Especially the orchestral one. Like, I actually bought the physical CD and everything, and then I've been using the orchestral soundtrack in the last couple of videos, and they're really freaking good. They're really cinematic.
Yeah, I think that was the high. Like, everyone was a bit like the RuneFest 2018, my first one, and they had the Philharmonic RuneScape thing, and everyone was like, this is, and then afterwards everyone was like, actually that's pretty sick. Like,
I heard it was like really, really good.
Everyone was like, at the start they were like, this is a bit shit, but then like as they started playing the more popular one, everyone was like, actually this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the investment to get that CD. Not that I'm going to play it in my car or anything like that, but just it was a cool thing. Even had like a really cool map of the world.
Is that on the inside sort of cover, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. I took a photo of it. I think I put it on Twitter and tagged them. I can't remember. It was on one of them. There's so many different social medias nowadays. Apparently TikTok getting banned in America. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Which is great. I hate TikTok. Everyone like.
We're too old for it, Mash. I think.
I am too old for it, but also, like, when we were going to work and we were in the van, like, or in the Uber before we started getting the tube to work, like, all like 3 of them would just be sat there watching different TikToks, and it'd just be like, I was just like they're not funny.
I feel like Instagram is the one that's like, it gets all of the funny videos 2 weeks later, and then they're like, have you seen this? And they're like, yeah, I've seen it so long ago.
And then Facebook's like a month after that.
Yeah. Yep. See, that's another marketplace for content creators, and it's like, hey, I'm a Facebook streamer, and it's like, huh? I still don't understand that one. I don't like it.
Right. So this is another subject I have at work. So like, obviously, I play a lot of Call of Duty, and like, obviously, I know some of the bigger Call of Duty streamers on Twitch. And then like, I'll be talking about Call of Duty, and one of the lads at work is like, "Oh yeah, have you seen this guy?" I'm like, "Never heard of him." He's like, "He's massive on Facebook," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Facebook isn't where gamers go to watch other gamers. Facebook is where normal people go.
I was going to say, not the hardcore gamer, the real casual gamer. Like old mate's a mechanic, he's working his, 8-hour shift a day, comes home, works on his car in the afternoon, wants to chill out, play Call of Duty. That's the Facebook guy.
Scrolls through Facebook, sees this guy, watches them. That's that kind of guy. Doesn't actively go looking to watch. Like, yeah, because he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy," and I'm like, "I've never heard of this guy." And I'm like, "Have you heard of this guy?" I'm like, "Have you heard of Shroud?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, this is the exact same thing. I'm like, Shroud is probably one of the best competitive first person shooters. And they're like, never heard of him. I'm like, literally the highest at one point was the highest subscribed channel on Twitch. Like 100,000 subscribers on Twitch. I'm
That's
like,
crazy. Like, it really is. Just
I'm like,
the money per month. What the hell?
I was like, he literally earned just from subscribers in 1 month $500,000. I'm like, and they're like, "Oh really?" I'm like, and then I'll show them like a montage of Shroud stuff on YouTube, and they're like, "He's fucking sick." I'm like, yeah, like you can watch your little Facebook gamers where they're like, "Oh my god, yeah," like. But they're not.
That's kind of, it still surprises me that people actually still watch it on Facebook, because I wouldn't even know where to go to find it on there.
I wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo. And now Mixer's
I don't even have it.
Facebook,
I don't even have a Facebook, so I don't know.
I very rarely go. I probably go on Facebook like once a month, if that. Like just to have a quick scroll.
I think it's just too much control over privacy and stuff like that. These apps are getting really dangerous with that sort of thing. And I'm just trying to steer clear of it. Like, not to say that there's anything wrong or to hide. It's just like, but they use it in such a malicious way. Like the other day, I literally said, "Hey, I've got a sore throat," and I literally got an ad for Soothers throat lolly things, literally within a second on Instagram.
Yeah, it is, Matt. And like, I don't think it might be a setting that you got to turn off, but like, I can't just scroll through Facebook. Like, I'll scroll through and every single video I scroll past starts playing, and I'm like, no, like it just starts full blast, like, I'm like, no. Like,
there's this algorithm with Facebook. If you watch a video, there's a setting in there where if you've got your camera enabled, it will watch your eyes to see which part of the video your eyes are being drawn to, how long it's looking at that, and then it will obviously mark it towards what that was, and particularly how long you're watching a video, where you turn off the video, they will use all of that data against you for the next ad. It's crazy what they use.
It's just fucking mad.
The world of the 21st century? I don't know. I don't understand that shit.
21st, yeah.
Okay, cool. I always use Fox as my reference for that. 21st Century Fox when you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest acquisition, I think, of our lifetime so far, was Disney acquiring
Fox.
No, the other one.
No,
LucasArts, wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah, that's the biggest acquisition. Disney is a monster company. Wait, you've got the computer for this. Was it Marvel or was it LucasArts they paid more for?
Let's have a look. Marvel, Disney. That's probably not going to do it. Disney.
Yeah, it all comes from streaming. All of these production companies are now merging together to get their catalogs together for these streaming companies.
Disney bought Marvel. Let's have a look. $4.2 billion. Disney bought Marvel.
Nice.
And 4.05 billion for Lucasfilm. So very similar, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then again, when they bought Marvel, Marvel was nothing. Marvel was just shit. They had Iron Man and that was it. So, yeah, I guess so. But then it was sort of a cocked up deal because Fox owned the Mutants and then Sony owned Spider-Man. So I reckon that's a pretty high valuation for Marvel. for at the time when they bought it.
It's
Yeah,
the,
so there's only Iron
it's
Man
the
and
Mar-
Hulk.
Once they've got Marvel, though, imagine all the stuff that now Disney can start just
Yeah.
out. Lego, the fucking pajamas, bedspreads, plushies, like,
Mickey and Captain America saved the day.
yeah, like everything.
So actually, I wonder if Marvel will be in. I know obviously the last Kingdom Hearts just came out, but the one following, if they do one, I wonder if Marvel will be in that. I never got into those games. I've watched them, but I've never played them.
Didn't have a PlayStation
JRPGs go over
growing
my
up,
head,
so-
man. They really do. Like, there's so much complexity in that. I'm just like, don't have time.
Apart from Pokemon, at least the first ones, because it's the nostalgia.
You know, modern Pokemon's pretty up there in terms of technicality, because there's typings, there's EVs, there's like really detailed stuff now.
The thing is, EVs were in the original games. You just didn't know.
You didn't know, yeah. And the
Again,
people
that's
who go
speedrunning.
shiny hunting, they're the same sort of people who do clue scroll hunting, basically.
Yeah.
It's a similar vibe. 1 in 4,000 Pokemon chance. Jesus. Hard resets too, so you got to start the game over again for a starter.
Nikki wants to know what we'll be doing on DXP.
Couple of little questions.
I'm not playing level locked because DXP is not available. So I will be on MASH, probably still just doing Herblore and farming to a degree, but I haven't really got much. Herblore's just so expensive, and it was expensive anyway, and now it's just even more expensive. Like, I just don't have.
What level are you going for?
I got to get 120 to. I was comped, and then so.
Fair enough. I've got to do... Well, my plan was originally to do agility, but it looks like I'm going to hit 99 before DXP, which I wasn't planning for that. So now I have no idea. I'm probably fishing. I'm just going to knock out these really long, boring skills over DXP.
Have you done woodcutting?
Not yet.
Crystallize Acadias, doing double XP, it's fucking broken.
I've got 79 woodcutting at the moment.
Well, you've got time to get it up.
You'll also have to do a few quests though for crystallize.
Oh yeah, if you haven't already done.
Yeah, not while I'm doing agility. I've just got to really get this skill done, put away, if never touch it again.
That's what I did with construction at the beach this last week AFK as well. I was just like, right, go make some sandcastles and we're good.
After construction's done, you honestly feel like any other skill in the game is easy. It's just so tedious. So tedious. The people who have 200 construction, what the hell?
Treasure
Honestly.
hunter keys. 200 mil construction Iron Man, that's the impressive one.
Yeah.
We had a conversation today about which is the best treasure hunter, and for me personally, I would say it's the Phoenix lamps, the ones that are now, because you don't actually have to train. It's like not bonus XP, it's physical XP. And I'm like, yeah, it's less, but then if it re-rolls on a high, huge XP lamp, well, that's 120,000 XP you never had to train. If that's fishing or woodcutting, that's an hour.
Yeah.
So,
the best in terms of gains rather than the best in terms of actual promoting playing the game. Like
exactly.
Yeah. Because I still feel like all direct XP shouldn't be available in Treasure Hunter. I think it should
really
be bonus XP.
shouldn't. It really shouldn't. That being said, the Dwarven chain axe and all that stuff, that's technically DXP.
Yeah.
You still have to train it, but it's DXP.
You alright, Bash?
My headset's beeping at me.
So,
I really wanted to get a 99 untrimmed agility cape, and since doing this Anachronia grind, I honestly think I might be able to do that at some point on a new account. It's not as bad as it everyone makes it out to be, because again, this track is so long. This whole podcast I've been doing it. How much XP did I get? I've gotten 500,000 since this podcast started.
It's not bad at all, is it? It's so quick.
Yeah.
Wait. What's your best time for it?
As of right now, I think it's just under 8 minutes. I'm not surging or anything. I'm literally just running around.
don't even know what the quick chat option is. I'm trying to search it, but I can't.
What did you think of games like Life is Strange? Life is Strange. Oh shit, there's a lot of games that are like that. I'm trying to remember which one this is. Is that the one with Ellie?
No, that's Last of Us.
Ah, yeah, Last of Us.
Life is Strange is the controlling time one.
Oh, yeah, spoilers, and you had to make that choice at the end. Yeah, I know which one.
Is that the one Waz has been playing? My laptop, 1 sec. Doorbell.
Mash! How many times has he left?
Busy man. Busy man.
Oh, there it is in the background effect. Oh, thank you, Nikki, for subscribing. And you've now got
I remember that.
thing.
What was the game I played before that was like that? There's so many story walking simulator games that have come out recently. The one with Ellen Page.
Last of Us, probably.
No. It was with Ellen Page and William. What's his name? The guy out of Spider-Man who played Green Goblin? William Dafoe. That's him. That was a great game. Love that game. Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's what it was. Beyond Two Souls. And you're like tied to that ghost thing the whole way through. And then the most recent game that was like walking simulator, like in that genre that really hooked me in, was Detroit Become Human, which recently came out on PC. If you haven't played Detroit Become Human, you're missing out. It's a crazy game with like the butterfly effect in that game where you make one choice and it affects different things and you get different endings. Huge. It's a huge game for that sort of thing. So much replayability.
Obviously, like, we'll avoid spoilers for anyone that hasn't played it, but did you get the good ending, or...?
My original one was sort of good, sort of bad.
We can chat about it after.
Yeah, I had some bad, some good, so it wasn't the best ending, but it could have been worse, put it that way. Yeah, there's a really fucked up ending in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, that very crucial scene with the you-know-who and the thing and the sun. If I give you something like the sun and a dog, wink, wink. Yeah, I failed that one hard.
Oh dear.
It ripped me to shreds.
All right, you Mash. What are you unpacking? Is that your GPU?
A new small GPU.
Oh, hey.
That will
So
fit in
small.
that will fit in my fucking case.
What GPU is it?
2060 RTX.
Nice.
Because I had one, or I've got one, that is too small. That's literally a centimeter too big to fit inside a tiny case.
It blows my mind that thing has the same power as a 980 Ti, which was like groundbreaking, record-smashing GPU for when that thing came out, and now 2060 is the equivalent.
And it's like this big.
Yeah.
So yeah.
2060 is a great upgrade for anyone who wants a modern PC.
Yeah, so I was gonna get a 1660, but I was like, there's just no point. Like, if I'm gonna make it for streaming and future proofing and everything else.
Yeah,
like,
it's the new codec for streaming and everything is a lot better too.
So here's what I originally bought. So this is the big one. So it's basically the exact same thing. So this is the RTX 2060, but like it's this big.
That little bit longer, yeah.
Because it's got the two fans. It's just that a little bit longer, but like,
yeah,
I think it's like the difference output wise is like 200 somethings. It's 200 somethings less. Like, really doesn't make that much difference. So obviously I've got to send that one back, and then. But Scan make it like I bought it all from Scan. I don't know if you've heard of Scan.
Yeah.
Like
nope.
No, as I said, they're a UK-based company, so.
Okay.
Well, when you return, you have to email them and request a return, and then they send you a form, and then. So, but I'll sort that out while I'm in London. But yeah.
All right, you
Is
Mash,
there
have
something-
you played stuff like Life is Strange, or?
I have not played a console game
I mean, it's on PC as well, but
No, I don't really have. I'm not really like.
that's not your thing. It's sandboxes and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah.
sandbox. Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, a lot of mine is like start with nothing, make everything, or COD. Product at the moment is if I'm not playing RuneScape, I'm playing COD.
Have you attempted to play one of these? Going back to our conversation earlier, where it's like they don't know because they haven't played one.
I don't know. I might have tried. I'm trying to think of games that I might have played that would be like that, though. You know what I mean?
There's the one that I mentioned just before, which was Detroit Become Human. That's just come out on PC. That's a good one.
A lot of my game I've played was always kind of like first-person shooters. I really enjoyed like Assassin's Creed, but that kind of stuff. But mine, like on my console days, was predominantly like Battlefield, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo, all of those kind of things. I never really did the whole storyline kind of thing.
Fair enough. Just pick up the gun, shoot them, get 10 kills, and drop a nuke.
Yeah, driving games as well. Like when I first started gaming, that was
I
like
think for me, one of the big early games was Need for Speed Most Wanted.
see, I was I can still remember the first time I ever played a console, and it was my dad was helping his mate fit a kitchen, and I went round, and he had a PlayStation 1. And I remember sitting in this big ass like reclining leather chair with a PlayStation 1 controller playing the very first Colin McRae.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was. If you watch the graphics back, you're like, how did I know which was a corner and which was the dirt?
and just consistently listening to the 4 left into 3 right crest.
Hairpin 90.
Yeah. So like I've all like and that was like it. So I used to play like Colin McRae Rally. Me and my dad used to play Colin McRae Rally split screen versus each other all the time. Crash Team Racing. We used to play against like always those kind of like racing, like me versus my dad. That was like growing up, kind of me versus him. And then like other games apart from that was like Ratchet and Clank and Crash Bandicoot. Like those are what I'd played. And then got into like GTA, and then like Xbox Live, and then like games with like stories and stuff. You kind of just progress away from those into more multiplayer games that you can just sit and play with the boys.
Do you see RuneScape growing, or do you see it staying stagnant for what it is? Because that's something that I was talking to people about earlier, was the appeal of RuneScape as a game in today's, society where you have literal mobile phones that play games, you have consoles. There's so much choice now. Back when we started playing, it was like we played RuneScape because it was the only thing our computers could handle, basically. So do you think it's going to grow in that regard, or it's just going to be just one of those things that you revisit for nostalgia? It's like not really a new person thing.
I think the issue is there's no like advertisements for RuneScape. People aren't going to know about it if they don't see it. If you look at like the cinematic trails and stuff they do for WoW, those other games, like obviously Blizzard have got a much bigger budget because they've got such a vast like wealth. They've got Overwatch, they've got all the different like
Activision. Yeah.
They've got so much resources that they can just, and they'll have a massive team that is just always doing advertisement stuff. But like I'll watch a WoW trailer and I'll be like, fuck, this looks amazing, and then it'll be like, all new at World of Warcraft. I'm like, oh, it's fucking WoW. I've never played WoW. But you watch it and you're like, fuck, this looks amazing. Like, if I was someone who had not played it, I'd be like, yo, shit, I'm going to play this. This looks amazing. But RuneScape, we ain't got nothing. We get, like, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I think I saw, like, a RuneScape trailer that they made like a couple of years ago that looks amazing. But we haven't had anything like that since. Everything they do is just tailored towards the community already because they're like, you know what I mean?
Already established.
It's all about bringing people that have played it before back rather than new players in. That is kind of the marketing strategy at the moment, though. It just seems what it is.
And then when you do new players, they play the tutorial island, and then you're stuck then because it's very confusing.
It is.
Straight off of tutorial island where it literally shows you what to do, and then
it's like, boom, here's this world, go do stuff.
Here's the world, and then you've got to go through all the fucking convoluted bloody interfaces and.
I mean, it does like immediately put sort of the path, like one of the trails on screen, like of going to chapter. I think it's the Slayer Master is the first thing that it puts you into as a task. So.
Yeah, it's just stuff they can work on, really.
I mean, the thing is, like, what do we reckon they're saving it for? Like, because obviously a while ago there was all that chat about next gen, and there's this unannounced MMO they're doing. Do we think that's just like what they're focusing on, and they're kind of keeping this going?
Yeah, you think this is done until the next thing? Like, yeah, maybe. I said before, it would be cool to have RuneScape, but in a futuristic setting. Same thing, skills, 99, all that stuff, but new. Like, I don't know, 99 laser cutting. I don't know, something like that, but like futuristic.
RuneScape Cyberpunk.
99 CNC.
Yeah, I thought that would be a cool idea, but I talked to you a little bit about this, Eddie, where I think I know what they're heading for in terms of RS is the mobile market, because again, same thing I just mentioned before. Back when we were younger and we played RuneScape, we played it because it was the only thing our computer could handle. RuneScape on your mobile, there is nothing on mobile that comes to the scale, the grandness of RuneScape right now. It's literally the big MMO game that you can play on a phone or a tablet. And that's where I think their big market potential is.
What do you reckon, Mash?
Yeah, I agree. They are tailoring it towards mobile, but there's just so many things that need to be fixed, like that they could just rework that would make this game so much better. Like construction, player-owned houses could just be so much better. Like a player-owned house rework. Look at old school's player-owned house versus ours. Like that's literally like a thing that everyone works towards, is getting construction sorted on old school so they can get the portal room, they can get all the jewelry boxes. I know we've got like the same thing like in the whatever that jewelry thing is that you can combine everything in. I can't remember the name of it, but you know what I mean? Like, yes, we want new content, but also you've got to fix some of the old content. Like Mining and Smithing reworked was great. It's worked. It's good. But there's so many unloved skills that just need a little bit more to it. You know what I mean? Like construction just needs. You literally do it to max. You don't do it for quality of life. You don't do it because it gives you something extra. You don't do construction because you could quite happily have level fucking 1 construction and it not affect your game.
Correct, yeah.
Which is why archaeology is so good in that it does link back to the rest of the game at various points through relics to other skills and obviously.
I mean, construction benefits. Is only for the armor stand. Realistically, if you wanted to level it, like anything past there is just extra cheese, basically. The only essential thing is that armor stand.
And the prayer.
Yeah.
Gilded altar. Yeah.
But again, if you're a main account, you don't have to use that. You could just go to the open altar worlds.
Even Seren stones, they're pretty much on par for XP with Dragon Bones on DXP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
DXP, they're very nice, those stones.
So it could be reworked to make it like they've added player-owned dungeon. Why didn't they put that into your house? Why have they made it?
Yeah. Like, what about it, like in the terms of what I'm saying with this is like, okay, so you're a Jagex, right? You either have it's a good PC game, it's definitely good, but then obviously they're swamped in that market for PC land. Or do you make yourself out to be the #1 mobile game? because they have the potential to really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
That's where I think they
think
would
old
head.
school on launch was like
Yeah, it was.
a
But that
record-holding sort of.
they had when that launched, the amount of reviews, if you looked at their reviews, was, "Oh, I played this back in the day. I logged into my account and I haven't got any of my items." And then because everyone was downloading it and logging in to expect that they were just going to drop back into their account from 2011 or whenever they quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
Be interesting. I think that if they're going to market to new people, that's probably where they would go to find that new audience. Because I think competing in PC land, there's so much competition for them now. Like, there really is.
right. Unfortunately, I have got stuff to do.
Of course.
So I need to wrap it up. So if we've got one more question or whatever we want
One
to
more
do,
topic we want to cover.
or one more quick outro, did you go?
This has been great. It's been distracting me while I'm doing agility. It's awesome.
It's okay, I'm training archaeology as well. It's
Plus 72,000 before level up. Yes.
I made 50 divine charges and got about 12k energies, so it was good. But I have got to have a shower, go and get some bits and
Okay.
bobs.
Let's go with one final thing then of what is the most naive thing you've ever done online?
No.
I fell for the look. If you type password, it comes up with stars.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be, for me. I think 3 times I've managed to type password into Discord instead of where I meant to, because it's like somehow opened and focused that window. And
Yeah.
it's like, all right, time to change that password. Luckily, I noticed, but it's not good.
Biggest one for me was I fell for the DXP thing on Twitch. Like when I was like a couple of years ago, I was not playing RuneScape and I was like, oh look, it's DXP, I'll come back. And then it was like all official looking RuneScape by a Twitch account that said RuneScape _ I didn't really pick up on it and I lost everything. So yeah.
Don't fall for it, people.
Nope.
It's too good to be true. It probably is.
Same with the wilderness stuff. People teleporting to ED1 or ED2 out there. That's a big one right now. They teleport them.
Yeah, teleport other, and suddenly, oh dear.
Oof.
Yeah. So anyway, let's say goodbye. Mash, what have you got coming up this week? Are you going to be streaming much? You're going to be testing out the new PC, I'd imagine.
So yeah, finish building the PC. Maybe it depends when my laptop gets dropped off. Hopefully today. If not, I'll finish that when I get in from work tomorrow. And then I'm probably going to be working on level up this week, slowly getting towards that 5k. I've nearly finished all the quests from 2004, so then I'm going to start make a mark on the 2005 quests. So that was good. I'm still really annoyed that fucking King Lathas fucking lied to me and made me blow his brother up with output, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Scumbag.
All right, Jib, yourself.
I've got another Mad Max, which is rare for me to have 2 in a row. That's really rare. But I've also got the old school series coming out on Monday. So Monday is old school, Friday is the new Mad Max.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, and I'll be continuing with my normal stuff. An interview which is probably going to come out tomorrow, so a day later than usual, so Monday. And then the community showcase on Friday, of course. So if you have any videos that you two want to get in there, get them out before Friday. So.
You're forcing my schedule early.
Save the clip of me falling off a chair.
A clip of you falling off a chair.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh dear.
You fell off the chair?
I fell off my chair in London, yeah. So like a little stool with a pillow on it to make it more comfortable. But because of the room in London isn't very big, the pillow was like half on the bed, half on the stool.
Oh.
I sat too far back, missed the stool, and just went in between the bed and the stool and just.
Okay, that would be a good one.
Yeah, it was a great clip, but I think it got deleted because of copyright.
Ah,
Oh.
boo.
But I'll have a look.
Alright, anyway, let us say goodbye, and we're going to go and speak to Mr. Careful Tam, see what he's up to today. Looks like
Fuck
he's at
that guy.
ED3.
In the
Fuck
wrong
that guy.
position and